Hey, Pearl, how are you today? Hey, and here's Minnie. Look at that pretty flowers I just planted. What? Oh, you're right. I almost forgot. Another day of SoulCARE.
Hi, everybody. How are you? Happy Monday. And congratulations to March 20th. St. Patrick's Day has passed, and I've been trying all weekend to get on Facebook, but doing Facebook Live, but I couldn't figure out the technical things because they've changed everything. But I will say everything I have to say here. And I'll do it later on for the people that don't see this show. Hey, Stacy. Hey, Karen. Hi, Nettie. Hi, Ellie. I was thinking I better change that opening again. I'm thinking that every time I see it because it's, as you know, it's been raining in California, so it's no longer. I don't know my flowers. I haven't seen them in a while, but I think I might do something with. I go to the dog park every day, so maybe I'll do something with the dog park. That's good. I'll do that. So I've met many friends. My life has become very socialized with dog parks. We have a thread on texting. It's very interesting. Hi, Cheryl. Hi, Angel. Hi, Joanne. Cheryl Wilkins. Good to see you. Patty Rose, good to see you. Hello, Robert Monroe. Happy spring. Yes, happy first day of spring. Hello. Fantastic. Yes. Hi, Kay Williams from Germany. Hello from Newport Beach. Mark, how are you? Crystal, Caroline, Angela Sparks. I remember that name. Mindy, hello, Mindy, Kathleen. People come in they get noticed on their phone. I guess I'm right, notifying, right, that I'm doing Facebook Live. So I don't even know how to do that, so forgive me. But I'm changing things around a little bit with Facebook, and my the website a little bit. 2 brand new courses are starting, and it's been very, very busy, everybody. So, but a couple of things I wanted to let you know that I was not able to do it on Friday at Facebook Live, but there's a sale going in my school, and a lot of people have asked me over the years, is this ever going to be a sale, or it's not that expensive, but there's 50% off everything in the school. So there you go. So 25% off, excuse me. Not the certification courses, but everything else. So, and that's the code, Lucky23, and that's going to be good for another couple of days. So because we didn't do it, I wasn't able to get on Facebook. I'm telling you guys this. So if you're interested in any of the courses there, do that. I mean, if you want to. Okay, so and just go to the school page, JP School Mystical Arts. Hi, Ruth. Hi, Valerie. Jay Smith, good morning. Diana, hi from Catalina Island. Wow. That's pretty cool. I've been there in years. First day of spring. How come I didn't say that to you guys first? Like, for happy spring. I've been busy working all morning. I finally have an off day to clean up my office. What's that like, right? So I'm uncovering books and documents and files and doing all that great stuff. I'm glad to be here. Robert, 23 is my dad's lucky number. Well, probably should get a message from him today somewhere there, Robert. So listen with your mind, just open up, and when you least suspect it, don't ask for it. The best way to receive a message is to be open-minded and don't try it or force it, but just be open to that space, and he can drop something in. Of course, your father will, because he's talented, gifted, probably one of the most talented, gifted psychics in the world, I think. And anyone doesn't know Robert Monroe, you should check him out. Oh no, I'm wrong. I'm Rob Monroe by Experiences, the Monroe Institute. I'm getting mixed up with somebody else. But number 1 NDE, Astral Traveling, set up an institute to do that. Rob Monroe, the Monroe Institute. So check it out. But I'm sure your dad will come through to you too. Happy spring. Hi, Tony. So that was one thing I wanted to tell you about the Shamrock Sale. And the other thing I wanted to talk to you about was I was going through I'm preparing for my Alaska cruise. There's still some rooms with roommates, I think. But people have asked me, what is it about? And I've tried to explain more, but I started working this weekend on it. And Spirit gave me several songs that we're going to use. And then they had me look at this. It came across my desk. And I mean, I've read many books about life after death and the other side for 40 years, but I've never seen this part. And it's going to be from a book, but several books, actually. I put this together. And part of the cruise, we're going to discuss, of course, going to the other side of the world, spirit world, and what to do in the afterlife, and also the levels that exist over there, because we're going to take field trips to different levels on the other side of life. Isn't that interesting? So I just wanted to share that with you, because it's like, oh my goodness, it's just like I thought, but I want to read this to you. Most people lead generally decent lives. They show kindness toward their friends and loved ones and pets, and they have empathy for the less fortunate. They don't mind lending a helping hand, so these people awaken to level 3. And level 3, here's the levels. So you can see this, different levels that exist. So level 3 is right above the earth, and it's called the noble. They call them the noble. This is from Mark Macy. Noble levels. So the earth is on level 2. First, we go then to the astral world, which is level 3, which on the Alaskan cruise, we're going to go into that astral world most of the time. That'll be where we're going to be, because it's worlds within worlds. But I just want to read you stuff that was really cool. So when you pass to the side, level 3 is like Earth, but it's like a paradise Earth. And they talk about that a lot, how beautiful the flowers are, the garden's incredible, the colors we don't have here, there are homes over there, there's everything you'd want on this Earth and then some. And that's where we all go to right away to get acquainted with our new way of living, right? And then there's later on, probably within, I'd say, depending upon the soul, 6 months to a year later, perhaps, there's a second death. And that's where you go, where you belong. You know, some people say to me, as it goes on longer with people, is it hard to communicate? You know, they've moved on. It's not as hard per se, but you must remember that their mindset, their memories are far distant. And of course, their vast expansiveness now. It's kind of like asking them to bring, I don't know, something up, a teaspoon of water put in a thimble. You know, it's just so much, so they have to really refine their thought. Anyway, from that astral world, then, this is so great. So level 3 is an earth-like paradise. Their baggage. Despite their general decency and desire to help others, new arrivals might also have a special fondness for a nice home, comfortable clothes, a fancy car, good food, sex, sports, or other carnal preoccupations. While these earthly distractions have no place or purpose in the finer realms of spirit, there are plenty of opportunities at level 3 to partake in them with people of mutual interest. So you go to those people, like attracts like, you'll go to those people who have certain interests. Also, I've mentioned before on the show that there's certain religious beliefs will go to the same religious beliefs. So Muslims go with Muslims, Catholics go with Catholics, Buddhists go with Buddhists. There's all these different worlds in the worlds, and the belief system as well. So if they were skeptical down here, there'll be a bunch of skeptics over there until they break that within their own spiritual growth. I've often told the story, I've said it here before too, about this gentleman who came through to me during a reading. I was doing the audience for this girl. Her aunt came through, and in the corner of my eye, I see a man walking toward me, a spirit man, with his arms folded. And I said to him telepathically, "Do you want to communicate with her? Because I'm juggling here, the reading here and this man." He said, "Why would I want to? I didn't believe in this on Earth. Why would I believe in it now?" So you keep that same mindset until, just like here, you evolve. There's something that awakens the spirit within and evolve to that level. So eventually you'll find, wow, that drink that I had, that glass of wine I loved, has the same taste and that I remembered on Earth, but it doesn't give me the same kick. And that's because you're not a physical vessel like we are here. So they're physical, we burn them out. We live them out, I guess you could say. That desire, that memory of those things we don't need anymore. I remember on Larry King once someone talked about golf. Your dad is playing golf. Larry said, "How can I have a golf course in heaven?" So you can have anything you want in there. And still that desire is kind of burned out. And you'll find you don't need food. You don't need to sleep. You can rest. But it's very interesting. So you get to that point. And then I think then you move on to another level, but it's a higher level. Let's see. Let me just go on with this. That said, many good people overpack their emotional baggage. So remember, it's a destiny, it's a trip. And many people overpack their emotional baggage, okay, during a lifetime. So when they arrive at level 3, they go into a deep, rejuvenating sleep that lasts on average 6 weeks of Earth time. While their astral body grows to the prime of life, their higher self works with other spirits to look through the baggage for excessive anger or guilt or fear or grief or craving or resentment or selfishness that might cause a problem in paradise. Small stuff can be tossed out, but bigger items could present a problem. By the time they wake up, most of them are well suited and a happy new life in paradise. So you're going to drop that earth emotional stuff. And anyway, so when we work on the cruise, I'm going to go into this and I'm going to go to different levels, but I'm going to work with this various By then, as this develops the next couple of months with the spirit world, I'm sitting with them, developing the program. We'll see what happens. But I want to explore those places and those spaces. But if anything, it tells us that we have to really let go of that stuff. We should not hold on to that. That's why I wrote that book, Unfinished Business, because the unfinished business with the spirit world can teach us about life after death. And we shouldn't have any resentments. We shouldn't have people that we don't forgive. We got to leave that behind, because that's very petty in the scheme of things, very small-minded. You want to be better than. You want to take the high road, less traveled. You want to be that. You want to leave this earth in a better shape than you found it. And I'll tell you something. This earth is changing so quickly that there are many, many opportunities to do good work here, because we need it. We need service work. We need people with integrity. We need people to have manners, for goodness sakes. So very important to look at your baggage and see what's going on. Kelly White and I have a show tonight, Both Sides Down Beyond. That'll be tonight at 6 o'clock. And it's going to be about spiritual. How do you help someone with share spirituality with others? It's not an easy thing to do. So we'll talk all about that, how to explain to doubters and so forth. We have a lot of techniques and ways of doing it together, 60 years of this. So it'll be good. Okay, which book is that? Unfinished Business, What the Dead Can Teach Us About Life. You can find it on Amazon. It's a very good book. I wrote that book because I got so tired of hearing the spirit people come back and say, if only I knew then what I know now, I would have chosen love, not fear. I would have chosen to believe in myself, not to give up. I would have chosen to go my own path, not a path that someone made for me. It's a very, very good book. It's a basic book. I don't know. It's like a Bible to me. It really is. It's how to live life. So if you're on this show here now, in the audience here watching this, participant, you really should just not watch this, but live this stuff. I mean, if what I say to you resonates as truth, explore it. Explore it more. This week I was lucky and fortunate to have my brother visiting me, and I shared with him the movie Stutz on Netflix, which I think a lot of you have seen. If not, you should see it. And the 4 Tools You Need to Live Life by Phil Stutz, who's an incredible therapist, Harvard graduate, I believe, for 14 books. Incredible show. In the middle of it, there's this wisdom just comes from this man, just pours out of this man, the way he explains things in life. And he has cerebral palsy, which is really interesting because he's not a victim. I always say that those diagnosed, those conditions, if you will, certain conditions, situations that are difficult in life, really hard ones in life, like that, or for instance, are reserved for the highest souls. Those are the advanced souls get that. The advanced souls get those hard lessons. So interesting, but you should enjoy that show. Stutz. My brother loved it. I gave him the book, and if we download it to watch it again on the plane. So that's a good one for you. I think we have questions. Okay. Past life remembrances. Is that because they didn't resolve in level 3 and reborn too soon? Eileen, it's a good question. A couple of things here. Number one, gosh, how can I say this? Yes, past life remembrances. I wouldn't say it's remembrances. Past life experiences, right? So experiences. I think there are many different types of experiences, not just ones that have some anguish or resentment or negative things, but places that you might have lived in. Like I once went through New Orleans, and exactly every street where it was and so forth happened in a foreign city in Europe too. So it's a soul memory of that. Family members and friends that you meet some certain people. It's like, well, I know you. I feel like I know you. Fabric of the soul. So you're connected again in that soul memory. That's what that is. Level 3 too soon. Remember that these are all tests down here. Every situation in life is a lesson to learn. And really, when you in the part of that sleep state, if you will, there is a sense of life review where you're your own judge and jury, and you decide what test you passed and that which you have to go back and learn at another time, or that maybe you should have used love and empathy instead of fear and hatred. Maybe that would have been the better option. So we learn these things. This is learning. You can't do it every day. It's a learning process. Many factors involved. So you'll go back and repeat it when the time is right for you. You sit with your guides, teachers, if you will, scholars, philosophers, and decide among you and your soul group what is the right timing for you to come back to reach those destiny points on your curriculum. And you have free will. If you want to come back, you can. If you don't want to, you don't have to. I find that you do have free will, and there are some souls who choose to come back right away. And they, even though the counseling might have said you should wait a little bit longer, no, I want to get it done. And I found many of those souls, not all of them, but many of them have left, have completed suicide or didn't feel they fit in because the timing was off, the rhythm was off because it wasn't right for them, and it messes the calibration up a little bit. It seems that's what my experience has been. So that's interesting. Thanks, Eileen. Hi, Susan. Hi, James. Hi, Darden. How are you, Darden? I'm gonna go see you this year. I think I was watching a video of another medium doing a reading. She was saying to the sitter that her family were at peace on the other side. She said, "Not everyone that crosses over is at peace." I'm confused at this. Oh, that's a good question, Susan. So, when we say at peace, I don't know who the medium is, but from that question, at peace. So let's say that you pass over, and you haven't forgiven someone. For instance, I was telling this to my brother the other day. This experience I had. And it was a couple I did a reading for in a hall back in New Jersey, America. And I remember their son came through, died in a car accident. A drunk driver smashed into him. The drunk driver lived. And the mother and the son said, "My mother won't forgive him." And he said, "Mom, Dad, I've forgiven him. I've forgiven him. Now you must forgive him." And he looked at me like I was crazy. And I said, "That's what he's telling me." And by the way, that forgiveness, that energy of forgiveness, if you don't do that, he's telling me it's going to close your life up. It's going to box you in, and new energy can't come in because you're still holding on to that. And that creates dis-ease in the body and the space that you're living in. And that also can affect further generations, not just your life, but other generations to follow that one thing. So when you pass over this life review, you'll see how you treated everyone. And you'll feel it not only from your perspective, but from their perspective 10 times, 20 times, 30 times stronger than it first was created. So, for instance, I use this example a lot. Let's say you're at a service station getting petrol or gasoline, and you're not in a good mood, and you're not thinking, and you yell at the person, the cash register, or yell at someone in the store, and they in turn yell at a coworker or someone at home, and that person yells at somebody else or calls someone a bad name, whatever it might be. When you have that life review, you'll relive that experience from the other person's point of view, how they felt when you threw that anger at them, how they felt, and how you're responsible for not only their anger, but the person, the coworker, and the coworker, the family member, and how the rippling effect it takes, and that you're the source of that. So when we say not at peace, that sometimes is a little traumatic for souls, and they have a hard time getting over that. How could I have done that? We know here on this earth, it's hard sometimes. We feel like, oh, I shouldn't have said that, or I shouldn't have done that. I have a Sagittarius moon, so I shouldn't have said that. Didn't mean it that way. I shouldn't have said that. We all have that. So, but we can say we're sorry and call the person up or whatever. Imagine eternity when all you have is a mental world. So all you have are your thoughts. There's no time. So all you have is your thoughts over and over and over again, 10 times, 20 times, 30 times stronger. So when they say not at peace, that might be part of it. So make sure that you leave this earth clean, slate clean. Treat others as you want to be treated. The golden rule. Make their life a little better. Really, it's important. Okay, hope that helps, Susan. Hi, Juliet. Is being cremated different than being buried as far as crossing over? Well, yes, spirit doesn't care. You really don't. It's like an overcoat. And you just get it. And it's like, no, thank you. And that's what I'm going to do with my near-death experience. I could care less about the body. Most people don't want to come back, but yeah, it does not matter whatsoever. The spirit is gone. It doesn't matter. I always think it's better to be cremated because you're done with it. Ties. And then also, I don't know. I think cemeteries it's such a racket. I think it's a racket with funerals and all that. It's just, come on. It's crazy. And then also remember, it gives that person, the people, the family, friends, a place to go to remember that you're dead. And really, you're not dead. So, I have a certain plaque for my doggie that died. And I'll be spreading my rose garden when I go. Yeah. So it's not necessary. Okay. Ellie, I can't stop dreaming for the last couple of weeks. That's good. People I worked with and family members that have left. Wow, very good. What the heck is going on with me? Well, Ellie, it seems like you've passed into the other side, the astral world, which we all do every single night. We leave this physical body and we travel to the other side, the other realms. That's why I'm doing this cruise. It'll be easy to go over there because we do it every night. You've done it many, many millions of lifetimes. So when you go over there, you see your loved ones, relatives, friends, teachers, guides. You work on certain situations that'll be coming up in the future. That's why sometimes when a situation happens and you have an amazing deja vu, it's like, I've done this. I think it's because you've already pre-programmed this or worked on this beforehand from the other side. That's what I personally think. Many definitions of deja vu, but that's one I really like. So that's what's going on. And I always keep a dream journal next to my bed to write things down. And it's worked. It's worked. I'm working on a television show, and I needed to find something out, figure something out. I just put it there next to my bed, and I said, "I'm okay. I'm going to dream this out. I'm going to work on this, and I'll leave it here in the next to the table on the table." So I programmed that, and sure enough, I woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning for 5 pages of information, which I couldn't have gotten otherwise. Perhaps. Thank you. Hey, Michelle. Hi, James. Do you teach in person anymore, like Omega Suit? Very rare. I will be teaching in San Diego. I'm going to be teaching in September. We're doing a mediumship conference in LA, and that'll be up on the website very soon. There'll be about 8 mediums, and it's going to be a whole learning. There you go. Oh, here it is. Okay. I'm sorry, and I'll be doing the Florida events. I'm not teaching, but they're messages from the spirit world. I'm doing it in April. So there's the Parker Playhouse, Fort Lauderdale, and then I'm also going to be at St. Petersburg that following Wednesday with Michael Beckwith and other people to start a conference. But teaching-wise, I'll be teaching in September at an event in LA with other mediums. You'll hear about it on my website. Okay. Kay Williams, James, may I ask you, do you believe we'll be contacted by extraterrestrial higher beings to help us evolve in the near future? I don't mean to sound crass. What makes you think we haven't? What makes you think they haven't influenced us? I think that to acknowledge it to the public would be a good thing, but they've been coming here for beginning of time. So I think it'll be more open to the public. I think that finally they reopened some documents, and the government's already shelled people they exist. So yeah, I do think things will get more noticeable and obvious. But it's I don't know. People look outside themselves to get better, and they got to look inside themselves. The answers are only inside. They can't look outside. And all these extraterrestrial beings those higher beings would help us to look inside ourselves. I don't know if you know about this, Miss Williams, but when I was in Sedona, Arizona once, years ago, I brought a group there to study and to be aware of UFOs that were present. And we meditated. And I remember the person that helped tour guide us, he said, "Can you get any information?" I said, "I'll try." So I walked out to the middle of the field, and I opened myself up in that space. And I heard, "We are from the Pleiades." And you could feel the energy like really, really hard to get a dense vibration. We do not understand one thing. You human beings have the energy of love all around you, yet you don't use it. Why is that? So I think we first got to get there first before we can evolve. Thanks, sweetheart. We're trying to get to all of your cult questions, everybody. Sorry. Do you think people can... Hi, Catherine. Do you think people can pick too many lessons to do when you come sometimes? I think this life I made too difficult. Yes. And I've been overwhelmed emotionally for years. Catherine, can be. Again, so let me tell you, so slow down, right? First thing is to know yourself. And that's the first thing. Know thyself, thy own self be true. There's a great book by James Allen. It's called As a Man Thinketh. Sexist book. It was written in the 1920s. But I would grab that book. I'd watch that movie Stutz. If I were you, you need to get back to your core self, and you got to stop taking care of everybody else. Can't do it. You can't do it. The people are responsible for themselves. You can't live someone else's journey for them. They got to walk their own journey. You can show them the door. Doesn't mean you don't love them, but that's what sounds like it for me here. But you got to do the work, and there's no spiritual bypass. So you got to get to know yourself in this lifetime. Once you start doing that, I guarantee things will be a lot easier, because you'll begin to know that I got to create boundaries here. People can't walk all over me, and I've done that. I've said goodbye to several friends with our friends where a soul comes to your life for a season, a reason, or a lifetime. And we did what we had to do, and then we move on. It's always a journey. There's destination is going back home. But these are just stops along the way. But you got to take care of yourself and get to know yourself, please. Okay. Thanks, Catherine. Hi, Patsy. Signed up for your grief course. Very good. My husband died suddenly last year, and I recently lost my little beloved dog, too. It's been a lot to deal with. I'm very, very sorry, Patsy. I think that grief course will help you. You mean grief course? The grief book. I don't have a course yet. Well, yes, a grief course on Hay House. That's right. But also my book, Healing Grief, would help you quite a bit. That's easy on Amazon. It's a great, great book. It's, again, a Bible for grief. When I wrote that book, my third book I wrote back in the late 90s, early 2000s. And I remember the publisher said, well, you really want to do this? I said, you have to. And it didn't do as well because a lot of people didn't like the term healing at that time. But it's an excellent book about grief. That would help you, sweetheart. And it's a journey. And remember that your husband now, when they die suddenly like that, many times it's predestined. And I'm sure, he's looking out for you. Many times partners go to the other side and they try to find a love for their partner left behind here that would work for the highest good for the two people. So keep your eyes up. And I know about the loss of an animal, believe I know. I went through that very early on. And it was very hard for me. So, yeah, I understand that. So my heart's with you. Hi, Jeanette. During a life review, do you also experience the good things or just the bad things that happen? You experience the good things as well. Isn't that great? So the love that you give, like the Beatles say, the love you make, the love you take is the love you take. So you've really have a wonderful experience. You've done well. My friend Cindy Williams passed over recently, and she came back to me, and I was really very sad and heartbroken, but she came back very strong and chills all through me. And she said, I'm self-sufficient now. I found my true self, and so I can be happier. And she was really fun. I knew it was her because she made a great joke. And I said, what was your life review about? And she said, and there was used to be a TV show in the 50s and 60s called This Is Your Life, right? And they'd go to these celebrities and give them a book, This Is Your Life. And typical Cindy, she said, oh, James, this is your life on a cosmic level. So it was really funny. It was her sense of humor. And she did a lot of good, but she didn't realize until she passed over how much good she left the world. And I think that, people in the spotlight don't realize it because they're busy working. Yeah, I know I've done very good work. I know that a lot of it's been karmic as well. So, yeah, I think it's just important for everyone to treat each other good and respect. Respect. It's so important. Okay, thanks, sweetheart. Hi, Michelle. When we return to the earthly plane, do you think we are still genetically linked to our previous past lives? The soul is a soul memory. So we're a soul having an experience, but within that soul, there is a seed in the soul. It's called Zigot. And it's have all those memories from your past, correct? As in we are ancestrally recycled through our lifetimes, so to speak. Well, I think it's also, Michelle, for you, hopefully to understand it, would be evolvement. So we're always evolving one way or another. And that's not only our own self as a soul, but our soul group, our family and friends, if you will. So many times we're evolving genetically the vast generations before us. So if there's a generation or two before you or several before you, then maybe there was an addiction problem, like say alcohol. You might have come back, someone might come back in this lifetime to stop that. So my brother just did a 12-step program for 12 years. And I said, well, you helped to stop that genetic link. And that sometimes it takes that. And that's going to be emotional stuff as well, abuse or all different types of psychological stuff. So it takes sometimes that soul to come back to break that genetic code. At least that's my theory. Okay, thanks, sweetheart. Maggie, fitness for you. What class course would you recommend for learning meditation? You're very funny. I'm just actually, I'm filming it right now. So I have a meditation course. It's a full-on meditation course. Hold on. Because I was just working on it. Oh, it's over on the table there. But it's really thorough. It talks about the endocrine system of the body, the chakra points, it's how to sit in the stillness. So I would wait to that. So I don't have a meditation course right now. So I'm working on that one. But there's a lot of meditation programs on YouTube. I go there a lot. But yeah, mine will come out probably in April. Not April, sorry, June. Okay. Thanks, sweetheart. Happy birthday, Heather MC. God bless you. Linda, does the mentally ill of karma come back to them? Mentally ill. So I think in my experience, we come back to in one lifetime to evolve the physical body, maybe one lifetime the emotional body, one time the mental body, or the spiritual body, or it could be several bodies at once. So the mentally ill thing again could be a genetic link in that you're taking that condition on. It's a condition. You take that on, perhaps to alleviate generations of the future to have problems with the mental body. It's my theory. So it also, think about it this way, if it comes with mental illness or a physical illness, physical handicap, it could be that they chose that. And it's happened to a reading once with a little boy, a young man, came through to his sister, and he was in a wheelchair his whole life, he had palsy. And she said, how do you find yourself? Oh, I can walk and run. He said, I had to take that on to teach others about unconditional love. That's pretty good. Advanced classes. Okay. Thanks, Linda. Barbara, can our spirit guides read our minds? Or do we need to talk out loud? They can read your minds, and so can the spirit world. They know everything that's going on in your mind, everything. They do respect your privacy. They will not come into you when you're in the bathroom or having intimate times. But, this is very interesting. You brought this up, Barbara, because one of the things about the other side, when we go there in Alaska, it is known that when you see somebody walking in the spirit world, you walk around the different realms and spaces, you see someone for the character of who they truly are, not who they project by the words or whatever. You see everything about them. They talk about sometimes, and we're going to do this again, this is also another lesson in my cruise, that the spirit people will wear garb that reflects their character. But they will, if someone was an SOB in life, you'll see that in the spirit world. You'll see this person wasn't honest or they weren't. And they go to those lower realms, which I have in that sheet. This is old material, but they call it the savage realms. The savage realms. See, it's below the earth. So you can't devolve. Once you evolve, you can't go backwards. So you have to evolve. It's almost like learning to drive a car or learning about traffic lights. Although these days, I don't know if you evolve. But so you want to do the best you can. But they can hear you and you can see them for who they are. So that's why live a good life and have good positive thoughts. Hi, Daniela. Hi, James. Are you coming to the UK? I am coming to the UK. Yes, I am. And if so, when, where, and how much? Good questions. I wish you could tell me. I don't know, except I do know when I'm going. I'm going to be in Scotland in September, October, actually. And I'll be in London and somewhere else in England and in Scotland with Gordon Smith. So I'm doing a tour. And that'll be up on the website very soon, as soon as we have all the details of the venues. But, yep, that'll be there. Have a good time. Carolyn, what can you do if a certain relative continue to carry jealousy and hatred toward you? Okay, so stop right there. It's their problem, not yours. What other people think of you is none of your business. That's their journey, not yours. What you can do is set boundaries. Say, I don't like you to talk to me that way. Please don't. I refuse to receive that. Okay. However, you can speak to them that they'll get it. Not to do it in anger. Just point it out. Would you like to be treated that way? Or, and sometimes, sweetheart, it's a hard one because they don't get it. Because many times families are souls that just because you're in the same family doesn't mean you're all evolved at the same level. So they can be in grade 3 while you're in grade 8 or so forth. They might be limited. They might not be aware. I was talking about someone today who's limited. They have no awareness what they're doing is affecting other people. They just don't have that awareness. So, you have to realize that that's where they're at. Don't take it on. Don't take that. It shouldn't mean anything to you. Jealousy. You know how much jealousy I've had toward me? Some from the public, from other mediums. And when I first got started, I'm like, where is this coming from? I mean, it's not my stuff. It's not your stuff. You inherited the family farm. Congratulations. Followed by my aunt's wishes. Very good. And put it back in operation instead of selling it off and giving everyone a pile of money. Well, guess what? I bet you did the right thing. And I bet the reason why you were left that farm is because your relatives knew you do the right thing. So jealousy, family jealousy, that's their stuff, not yours. And, you inherited the family. They could have given it to the other kids too, but they chose not to. So you don't need to do that. You follow the wishes of your family, of your aunt or whoever left you that farm. You're doing it, and you bring it back to farm. That's your choice. And if they have to be that petty and they think that way of you, too bad. It's not your stuff. It's their stuff, and that's it. Um, I mean, you can say I love you, I forgive you, but that's not how it's been left for me. And there was a reason, and I choose to follow those wishes again. But remember, though, Carolyn and everybody, that people might be limited. So one of the shows that tonight, we're going to talk tonight in the show, Both Sides Down Beyond, about discussing spiritual things with people who are closed-minded, who don't get it, who might not be aware. I mean, you should watch that because it's not only spirituality, it's the things like family squabbles and day-to-day conflicts with workers and so forth. You definitely should check it out. It'll help you. Okay. I'll have a couple more questions here. Okay. Lisa, hello. I have had premonitions about other people. Should I tell them what I know or no? Because when something bad happens to them, I feel devastated and feel like I should have said something. Lisa, you can't play God. If you're aware of things might happen, and I am too, you're very an empath, you pick things up. It's that soul's destiny or the journey point. I know it very well, and I knew that that person is going to go through that. It's not my stuff. It's their stuff. And you never know. It might have changed. If you say something might change it, but it's not you to play God. They have to go through it. Hard being an empath. That's part of being very psychic, very sensitive. You're aware of things that are going to happen, but it's almost like you see someone's hands, in the card deck, but you can't say anything. So don't worry about it. It's not your stuff. Okay. Hi, Diane. James, could you please tell us more about your World Meditation Day? Yes, my World Meditation Day is going to be coming up at the end of March and next week. And it's going to be a free online event on Facebook, which we're putting together right now. And I'm just going to do work with everybody in the room. And it's going to have some music. So Madam Kerr is probably going to be the person. And I'm just going to do a meditation for whatever comes up that day, which we need. Obviously, world peace. But we'll see also what the spirit world wants to bring in, because I won't be doing it by myself. I'll be using my guides to influence me. And it won't be question and answers. It's really just going to be a meditation, and we'll see what happens. But I think that's good. I think we need more of that. Just like the SoulCARE here started with the beginning of the pandemic. I think we need more meditation, more light to the world. So that's just the beginning of that. Thanks for asking. Mary, hi Mary. Hi James. I was sleeping in bed, and I'm glad it wasn't the bathtub, and had a feeling someone was standing over me. Yes. I was too afraid to open my eyes. Okay. So I squinted while I opened. Goodness. I saw my mother open a curtain, lean over and kiss my cheek, and went back into the curtain. I felt the kissing, opened my eyes and cried, I love you too. I had to share. That's beautiful, Mary. You have nothing to be frightened about, my love. It's just the unknown. It's the more of the real world than this world is. This is the foreign place. That's the real world. And love is the energy. Fear doesn't exist there. Fear only exists here. Fear is a human emotion, not in the spirit world. So feel their love. Open your arms for mom to give you a kiss. They hear your thoughts too. So, and it's many humans, that's the thing, they react in the unknown, in a frightened way, but you don't have to be. It's so interesting how the spirit world walks with us every day. And even things, I've lived my whole life that way, even down to recently I had to change my whole staff around and just bring people on. In 1 week, I had 5 people come to me in all different ways. It's really interesting how it all worked out. But they're, looking out. They look out for us. So be open to it. Okay. Hi, Donna. James, why do some spirits get stuck here in agony looking for loved ones, and the loved ones are also stuck, but they cannot find each other? Also, would you know if my parents are together? I don't know, Donna. Wouldn't you think they're together? Could be. So in the spirit world, when you say together, I often think it's like the United States, like states of being, and that's the soul of one, mom and dad. They might have been here in this marriage, which is a human institution, which I don't understand it, but it is what it is. And they get together, let's say 50 years, 60 years, and they pass over and they realize, and listen, I've had friends whose father died one day and the mother died the next day. And it was perfect because they belonged together like that. They were so connected. And they for a while in the spirit realms, of course. But also I found that there are some souls who've been married for 40, 50 years. It's happened to my parents. And they pass over and they realize, wow, there was just a time on earth. Now we can go do our own things, our own interests, and they separate that way. They're always able to see each other, check in on each other, because it's just a thought away, and they do. But they're very, very busy over there. They really are busy doing things, evolving, taking classes, doing creative things, trying to help us out. So think of it that way. Open yourself up to that. I think that when one lives in fear, walking on this earth, fear, I'm never going to find love. I'm never going to find love. It's probably because they don't love themselves. And that's it. And they come back to that sense of not loving self. And because they don't love themselves, they're blocking all of that to happen. All the magnetics are shut down because of fear. And fear will put walls up around you. Just like when I do readings with people, I say, you have to be open-minded to whoever comes in. You cannot control it. Let it go. And that's true in life. Just surrender to things. As the Buddhists say, you can't push the river. It's going to flow. Can't push it. You can observe it. Can't push it back. We should live that, right? So there you go, darling. Carol. Hi, Carol. I have a question for you. I thought so. My camera picked up a very large orb at my front door. There was lightning inside it. Do you know what that means? I'm not a great one with orbs. I'm really not. I've had many, many done, taken of me. And I went to the Ford Theater in Washington, and no one was there. Believe it or not, a couple of security guards. No people were there. And my friend Jordy, who's very mediumistic, by the way, so you have to be mediumistic. So I'm sure you're a bit mediumistic, Carol. Took a picture of me sitting on the stage, and there were thousands upon thousands of orbs. Some of them you can see little faces in them. So I think it takes a lot of energy to create that, to manifest that. And I think it's done by several beings. I don't think it's just done by one. I think several work to manifest that. And that's all I know. Okay. Hey, Jay, James, you're such a wonderful person. I enjoy your podcast, books, and seminars. Thank you, Jay. Thank you. I really appreciate you saying that. It's very kind. Thank you very much for acknowledging that. Linda, hi, James. I lost my only sister and then my fiance. Both of them are still a mystery. I don't know how they died. Please, do you know what happened? They help me. Linda, I would do a reading with Kelly White. She might be able to help you. I don't know what happened. She might know. She's a medium. And she does readings. So if anyone wants a reading, on my website, vanprog.com, there's a resource page for practitioners. And I have on there a bunch of very, very talented mediums and psychics and counselors. There's a psychic named Caroline Mumolo, who's the best that I've met around for many, many years. And she reads regular playing cards. And she's phenomenal. So check that out with her. She might be able to answer that. But she just takes checks. She has to check. She's elderly. She just takes a old-fashioned, there's a check in the mail, then it calls you back. And it's telephone reading, and she's at least an hour. I mean, everything's answered. She told me when she was out here in August, she told me something happened 2 weeks later, right on. So interesting. And then she said to me, you're going to meet a guy. I'm like, really? She goes, but he's with somebody else, but he really likes you. About a month later, I met someone with somebody else, but we're friends. Anyway, Caroline Mumlo, her name is. Okay. Hi, Lisa. Is this information you were speaking of one of your books regarding different realms? Yes, it is. Now we got to think. Reaching to Heaven is a really good book. You might be able to find it used. I don't know if it's printed anymore. Reaching to Heaven. Let me think what else. Heaven Knows What is a good book with children that pass over, but we discuss the realms. That's a very, very good book. So those two books, I think, are the best ones to get. For that. There's also another book which you might want to get, not my book. It's Life in the World Unseen by Anthony Borgia. Life in the World Unseen. And he describes about seeing people with their thoughts and who they are as a character. So Life in the World Unseen, there's part 1 and part 2. Excellent books. And any books by Arthur Findlay, incredible books. Those are the ones I recommend. Okay, we'll do one more question. Okay. What are your thoughts on organized religion? Not much. Pros and cons. I don't believe in any religion per se. I believe the only religion I believe in is love. That's what I believe in. I believe there are many factors involved with religions. Part of it is culture, of course. Part of it is that sense of living in a family and heredity, that sort of thing. Usually it's cultural. I know I was raised Catholic, and I love the ritualistic part of it. I love the songs, and I love the outfits, the ceremonial. I like that. I didn't like the rest of it. Didn't like the words. I think religion gets caught up in too much of the dogma, and it's a dogma and fear. Fear shouldn't be part of any religion. It shouldn't be. Fear is man-made, so that being instilled in religion is human. It's the human part. It's not God part. God is unconditional love. I think the only religion we need to have is love, and I think that one of the things that it makes me upset these evangelicals and Christian people who just push their stuff on someone else. Like, this is the only way. I was at the dog park once, and I walked out of the dog park, and these two they were 22-year-old, not more Jehovah's Witness or Mormons with tie, and I don't know which ones they were. And he said, "Have you found the Lord?" I said, "Yes." He's right. You're staring at him. And I said, God is everywhere. God is us. God is everyone. No, but I said, no, that's not the way it is. I said, first of all, what are you doing in a dog park trying to teach people about dogma? The two don't really go. And I went to the office, and they said, oh, he's allowed. I said, why is he allowed to go to a dog park? Because it's freedom of speech. So that's where he's at. That's the level he's at. I think people need it also for a sense of community. I think some people need that because they don't have the sense of with themselves. And I think that, and that's okay. That's really okay. I think it's fine. I know that I wouldn't be where I am today without my days at the seminary of Catholicism, because it gave me a great foundation, if you will, a great sense of spirituality, if you will. We used to, I call it meditate. We used to sit in the quiet every day for like 2 hours. So that started me. So some very positive things about it. Really are. I'm more of a Buddhist philosophy, I guess you would say, than any religion. That's the closest. I think my belief system would be closer to that, but I don't like rules per se. I live in the golden rule. That's the rule I do live by, and that's the only one I would say. Again, though, I think a lot of there's pros and cons, but when they start trying to control people and take money from people, like on the evangelicals, the 700 Club, remember that with Pat Roberts and all that? It's just not good. It's not good. I don't think that's a good thing. And instill fear in people. That's not right. So that's mine. So tonight on our show, Both Sides Now, how do you share spirituality with others? Is there a way to explain it to doubters? Reach out, and can you reach out and help people? So that's tonight at 6 o'clock. We're going to talk a lot more about religion or spirituality and other things. And I hope you can join us. All right. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you tonight, or we'll see you next time. Okay.